Welcome to Silver Creek School Corporation's board meeting tonight, November 15th, 2022. Christy Franklin's going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, and then Todd Palmer's going to lead us in the Coach.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Heavenly Father, as we approach this holiday season, please remind us to be thankful for all the wonderful things you give in our district. So thankful for our students that show up and work so hard for us each and every day, our staff that's so committed to their purpose of making a difference in the lives of their students and staff each and every day. We ask that you will guide us tonight and help us to make the best decisions now and into the future for Silver Creek School Corporation. We ask that you'll continue to watch over us and keep us safe and continue to bless our district. In Jesus' name, amen.
All right, roll call. Mr. Basham.
Here.
Ms. Franklin.
Present.
And Ms. Bright.
Here.
And I am present. We have a quorum. Emergency additions and revisions to the agenda.
Yes, good evening, everyone. Yes, I do have some additions to the agenda. Let's start with number 8, consent agenda under donations. I'm going to request to add items Roman numeral 18 through 41. Roman numeral 18, Chris and Catherine Flaherty, Silver Creek Elementary Christmas Fund, $10. Kayla and Scott Kilborn, Silver Creek Elementary Christmas Fund, $100. Julie and Jim Probst, Silver Creek Elementary Christmas Fund, $50. Matthew and Sarah Robertson, Silver Creek Elementary Christmas Fund, $25. Mary and Robert Cahill, Silver Creek Elementary School Christmas Fund, $25. Thomas Kempf, Silver Creek Elementary Christmas Fund, $100. Andrea and Ryan Crum, Silver Creek Elementary School Christmas Fund, $200. Ryan and Hannah Duncan, Silver Creek Elementary School Christmas Fund, $25. Leah and Ricky Jones, Silver Creek Elementary School Christmas Fund, $40. Andrew Day, Silver Creek Elementary School Christmas Fund, $1,000. David and Robin Gardner, Silver Creek Elementary School Christmas Fund, $50. Jordan Lieb, Silver Creek Elementary School Christmas Fund, $50. Kurt and Amelia Otto, Silver Creek Elementary School Christmas Fund, $50. Scott and Melissa Williams, Silver Creek Elementary School Christmas Fund, $100. Kirk and Megan Randolph, Silver Creek Elementary School Christmas Fund, $50. Daniel and Delissa Miller, Silver Creek Elementary School Christmas Fund, $150. Meredith Ferguson, Silver Creek Elementary School Christmas Fund, $30. Patricia Negra, Silver Creek Elementary School Christmas Fund, $10. Arya Patel, Silver Creek Elementary School Christmas Fund, $20. Casey Eve and Sakshit Liang, Silver Creek Elementary School Christmas Fund, $10. Kenton and Kelly Sissel, Silver Creek Elementary School Christmas Fund, $100. Casey Volker, Silver Creek Elementary School Christmas Fund, $10. Elise Wright, Silver Creek Elementary School Christmas Fund, $40. And Kayla Williams, Silver Creek Elementary School Christmas Fund, $20. The second addition would be under letter E, personnel. Number 2, positions. Letter A, request to approve title change for position control number 50056, changing the course title currently called Spanish Heritage Language and changing that to English Language Heritage. Changing that to EL Heritage Language. And that is it for the additions and revisions to the agenda. Thank you.
And so hearing that, do I have a motion to approve?
I so move.
Ms. Bright makes a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
We have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Passes 4-0. Approval of minutes. October 18th, 2022 regular meeting. October 19th, 2022 executive session. October 19th, 2022 work session. November 2nd, 2022 special meeting. November 2nd, 2022 work session. And November 9th, 2022 special meeting. Do I have a motion to approve?
So move.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Basham seconds. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Passes 4-0. Recognitions and presentations.
Yes, I have 3 recognitions and presentations this evening. First, I want to recognize our school psychologist, Dr. Regina Hildenbrand Moore and Jensen Striegel. I don't know if they're here. I've not seen them. Last week was a designated day for School Psychologist Day. And we gave a shout out to those two individuals for all that they do to help our kids and our families and our staff. And so I would just like to say thank you to them for everything they do. Second tonight, our first presentation is the Silver Creek High School Academy of Finance students with Mrs. Glazier, their teacher. So I'm going to turn it over to Mrs. Glazier.
Good evening. My name is Jennifer Glazer, teacher at Silver Creek High School. I'm here tonight representing Silver Creek Career Academy programs at Silver Creek High School. So I'd like to start actually by congratulating 2 of our Silver Creek graduates that were successful in the recent election. One is Diego Morales, who came to Silver Creek in 8th grade and could speak no English. The wonderful teachers at the middle school and high school helped him along the way, and Diego was recently elected as Secretary of State of the state of Indiana. Wow. The other graduate is Scotty Maples. Scotty was a student in my business law class, and in that class, I often have speakers like judges and lawyers and police officers. So one day I had my husband, who was a police officer at the time, speak to the class. And many years later, and I never knew this, Scotty came up and told me, he said, it's because your husband spoke in our class and was so passionate about his job that I wanted to become a police officer. Well, Scotty Maples became a police officer and was recently elected as sheriff of Clark County. So we're very, very proud of our graduates, and we know they will represent us well. So now I would like to talk briefly about our Career Academy program, just to kind of remind us all what we offer at Silver Creek. So in Project Lead the Way, we offer computer science, engineering, and biomedical sciences. In the arts, we offer visual arts, culinary arts, and performing arts. We also have a career focus in communications, education professions, and business finance. And before I turn it over to the business finance students, I want to tell a short story about the Education Professions Academy and a recent field trip we went on. So I took the students to Indianapolis for what was called Be a Teacher Day, and Dr. Briggs joined us in Indianapolis. So they went to 4 sessions. One was on community college, one was on scholarships, there was a college fair, and then there was a session on current college students that are studying to be a teacher. And the sessions were very good, and they ended about 4 o'clock. And as part of Be a Teacher Day, they offered us tickets to the Pacers game. And while that sounds very exciting, the students, they were just kind of tired and ready to go home. Plus, our seats were the nosebleed seats. So there was one student that really wanted to go to the game, though. So we, as a group, agreed that we would stay at least a half an hour at the game. So we went up to our seats, and when I say nosebleeds, we were in the very back top row. So the students sat there, and I sat right in front of them. And at one point, I turned around, and I noticed that one of the students was not watching the game. And her name is Reagan Needler, so I'm going to call her out. She is not only in our Education Professions Academy, but she's in our Performing Arts Academy. She's in our band and plays percussion. So I said, Reagan, what are you watching? And she said, Miss Glazer, I'm watching the percussion section. They're about halfway down. So I said, okay, and I see them. And she said, could I go down there and watch them up close? So I said, take another student. I can see where you'll be. Go down there and watch the percussion. So she went down and watched them, and she came back and said, Miss Glazer, they said if I come down before halftime, I could play with them in the percussion section. So I looked at the students that were ready to leave, and I said, don't even say a word. We're staying. So Reagan went back down. She got to play with the percussion section, and she came back with a set of drumsticks. So the students were thrilled for her, and it was the highlight of the field trip.
That's awesome.
So I wanted to share that story. So now I will gladly turn it over to the Academy of Finance students, and you'll see why we're so proud of our students at Silver Creek.
Hi, I'm Macy Farrell. This is Marshall Fields, and this is Kiki Brown. I am the president of the Academy of Finance and the Career Academy program. So I'm here to talk about what we do within the Academy of Finance. So at school, we have 3 businesses. We have our Silver Creek Financial Center, which is our bank at our school. People can come in, they can make deposits. We have checking accounts, we have savings accounts. And next we have the Creek Cafe, which we sell healthy snacks, we sell hot chocolate, we sell coffee. And then we have our Dragon Depot, which we are selling athletic wear that it has Silver Creek on it. And me and some students have got the privilege to walk over to Major League Shirt Company, and we have got to print the logos on the athletic wear. And then also within Dragon Depot, we have our school supplies. We have poster boards that people can come in. They can buy flashcards. They can buy highlighters. And then next within the Academy of Finance, we have had the opportunity for people to come in with around the community, business professionals, and we've got to make resumes, we've got to fill out applications, and we've got to just meet with those business professionals to prepare us for the future life. And at the beginning of the year, we went to a Venture Connectors, and me and Marshall actually got to go up and do the 30-minute mic session. We got to talk about the Kentucky Monopoly board that we made, which Marshall's going to talk about. And yeah, that's what we do within the Academy of Finance.
Hello, I'm Marshall Fields. In the Academy of Finance, we also do recruiting. I went to 8th grade parent night, and I did recruiting for the Academy of Finance, and I talked about our first board, Kentucky Monopoly. In this board, students call local historically found companies, and they go set up meetings. And then we raised $20,000 in scholarships in that board. And then we've made our second board, and I worked on that board, and Macy did as well. And we're projecting $30,000 in scholarships this year. Thank you.
That's awesome. Wow.
Hi, I'm Kiki Brown. I'm here to talk about the actual New York trip. We are going to go Wednesday, April 19th through the Saturday, April 22nd, 2023. And some places we'll go to are the NAF headquarters, which is National Academy Foundation, and then the Bronx School of Finance, which is another AOF school like we are. And then the Sears Capitol, the Jeffrey Hendren is a SCHS graduate who's the founder, so we're going to meet with him. And then go to American Express and meet with Michael Bryant. We'll also go to Financial District, including Wall Street and New York Stock Exchange. And then some other places are the Empire State Building, Central Park, a Broadway show, 9/11 Museum. So we'd really like if you granted us permission to go on this trip. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And yes, board members, the field trip request is on the consent agenda here this evening. And our next guest presenter is Mrs. Mattingly.
I have all the officers here tonight. Ellen Doss right here. Kay is our treasurer, and Harriet is our secretary. She's passing some pamphlets out to you. Thank you, members of the school board, for allowing me the opportunity to give this presentation. The presentation is in 5 sections: history of a school, from a farming community to a factory community, the Dragon Crest, what it represents, Dragon mascot, how it came about, violence in today's school, and then dedication of the crest. In today's language, our crest would be called a central, vocalized mission statement. Today, most school systems make a mission statement as to what they think their school system represents. Silver Creek High School has always had a mission statement, but unfortunately, it has been buried, ignored, and thrown to the wayside. And ignored as if it never existed. This may have occurred with our new marketing strategies that try to focus on modern looks, such as the covers of recent yearbooks, signs along the roadways displaying school mascots, time, recent events, etc. Has the crest been deemed old-fashioned and only a remnant of the years gone by? Today, we hope that this concept is resurfacing at a turbulent time in U.S. history when it is most needed to have an impact. The crest has always been a moral compass for our school and should most definitely remain part of our school's heritage. Our educators today, with it as a guide, can not only educate, but can also inspire all students to be productive, creative, and exemplify those qualities on the crest to make them good citizens. In your pamphlet you have here, there's several pictures of the three schools, a picture of the dragon, what it represents, a history of the school. It all began with J.B. Speed starting a cement plant that would allow him to have a monopoly over the industry in this region. He hired a geologist that told him that a huge quarry there, 2.5 miles around, would give him adequate resources that would last 100 to 150 years or longer. And in that quarry, I worked there at the cement plant for 26.5 years. The crusher was even used when they built the Panama Canal. It's a part of the history of this community also. I grew up in this factory town as a child. Mr. Speed there built houses for his workers, a grocery store, a hotel, a food diner, a community house, park, and golf course. In southern Indiana at that time, the three major places to work were Colgate, Palmolive, the ammunition plant in Charlestown, and our local Louisville Speed Cement Company. In 1925, he built the Speed School, which housed grades 1 through 8, and there's a picture of that in your folder. The high school was temporarily held in a local community house. Later, a high school was built on a hill between the two towns of Speed and Sellersburg. The town at this time was called Fredericksburg. Because of his tremendous influence, the town's name was changed to Speed because of what J.B. Speed built. He also built the Speed Art Museum, the cement plant here. We had a diner and a restaurant here. And he also had the Speed Engineering School in Louisville, Kentucky, where I was a student at U of L for a couple of years myself. The dragon crest and what it represents. How did our predecessors decide to have the dragon as a school mascot? I believe I might know the answer to that. In 1933, Silver Creek High School had its first yearbook. There's a picture of that in your folder. On the cover of it was a scene of a castle. With castle, several things are associated with it: kings, queens, knights, dragons. The word dragon comes from the Greek word meaning to watch. In ancient mythology, the dragons were said to guard and protect gold, valuable gemstones, and treasures. In the Orient, the dragon was said to have supernatural powers, wisdom, strength, hidden knowledge, good luck, good health, to guard and protect. I believe that in the past they considered the school administrators to not only guide our students through the educational process, but to watch and protect them. And boy, is this a case with violence in the schools today. Therefore, the dragon became the appropriate symbol for Silver Creek High School. The dragon mascot, how it come about. My Aunt Joyce Matthews is 90 years old. She's in Westminster Nursing Facility in Clarksville, Indiana. She's paralyzed in both arms and legs, which happened after a fall a few months ago after her husband's funeral. I go to visit her whenever I can. I take her books on our family's military history, family school history, and various other books. As I was turning the pages on the history of Silver Creek High School, she revealed to me that she went to the Yellow Brick Speed School and attended it, which was located on the northwest corner of our Speed Community Park. She recalled how the school got the dragon as a mascot in the school colors. She revealed that when she was in high school on the hill, that her teachers passed out slips of paper and asked the students to write down what they wanted as a school mascot. Teachers and students both voted, ballots were counted, and thus the dragon emerges as our local school mascot. This is the case to the best of my knowledge. Next, violence in our schools. The current national statistics released by the Department of Homeland Security and Defense states that during the past 2 decades, that 400 students have been killed in our public schools and several hundred wounded needlessly. During 2018, 10 were killed. 2019, 24 killed. 2020, 24 killed. 2020, 21, 34 killed. And so far for this year, 40 killed. Locally in our Louisville area, Wagner, Butler, and Moore high schools have recovered weapons, pistols, and backpacks. An elementary school in that area found a pistol fully loaded in the backpack of a 3rd grade student. The rampage must stop. It is interfering with our educational progress of our students and having negative effects on them mentally. No student should be afraid to attend a public or private school in today's world. Security teams in our schools are now a norm at our taxpayers' expense. With all the ongoing violence in today's schools nationwide and worldwide, we may not completely resolve this issue. With some of our media not having stringent controls, unfortunately, young people have turned to the negative action of even destroying school property. Our alumni class of 1965 Silver Creek graduates are not needlessly doing nothing. We are here today to be proactive. First, we hopefully desire to slow down this crazy and destructive actions and promote students' ways of thinking to a more positive side. Second and foremost, our goal is to slow down school violence and save lives by promoting a school code of conduct. Our third goal is to give students the encouragement and a road for conduct while in school, and one they can incorporate into their adult life and pass on to their children. Dedication of a crest, the last one. Today is our utmost privilege and honor to do this for the school we attended and for our local community at large. I went to the Sellersburg Library to do much research on our school and found out it has been 45 years since the Dragon Crest has even been on the cover of a Silver Creek yearbook. We hope all who see it will never forget the history of our hometown school. With a newly renovated high school, we hope it will hang there on the school's wall for our future generations of students and their parents to see and understand the underlying meaning of the Dragon's Crest. It not only represents our bold school colors, but the 4 icons of school conduct for them to abide by as they make their necessary journey from freshman to senior year. Religion and politics do not enter into the school's code of conduct. The Dragon Crest Code of Conduct is merely a reference on how people interact, treat each other with civility and mutual respect on a daily basis. Our students are the future. They pave the way for a better Sellersburg community and a better nation. We hope the Dragon Crest, which our class is presenting today, will touch the lives of not only some individuals, but many. Our ultimate goal is to preserve the history of a school in this local community and instill the values which our ancestors held so dear and felt necessary for school survival. We hope all of our students will be proud of our school's history and what it represents. The last section is somebody bring the sign up front. I'm going to tell you how it was fabricated. About the fabrication of this Dragon Crest. I'm not necessarily on my A game today because I've had a couple sinus infections. I got over them. I had cancer in this left ear a few years ago, and I've had drainage, and 3 days ago they had to go down to my ear and drill 4 times for biopsy. So, but I'm still here. I'm here, okay, and I'm surviving it. Okay. About the fabrication of the Dragon Crest. We wanted a product that would withstand the test of time as much as possible under normal conditions. Since the crest has not been used in the past 54 years, we wanted a professional look and a frame that would look elegant and not detract from this sign. The crest first appeared on the 1958 Silver Creek Yearbook. The last year it was used was 1968. The core of the sign is a sturdy bonded aluminum product, which is strong and with little flexibility. And I've got a piece of it here. Even though it's 1/8 of an inch thick, it's very strong. You can't even hardly flex it. And I brought it here to pass it around so you can see how strong it is. The designs are coated with high-quality colors and with layers of vinyl material. We tried to get as clear an image as possible. We achieved this by having a commercial printing company give us a clear digital display by creating for us a vortex image. The process has only been on the market for a short period of 2 or 3 years. Voluform and Superior Printing companies informed me. The printing professionals accommodated us and delivered. We went a step further to protect our product. We have placed a clear covering on the sign, which is a relatively new product, which can be quite expensive depending on the size and thickness. The sign is 1/8 of an inch thick, the coating 1/8 of an inch thick. Had to be this to fit into the frame. After research, I located a company that could fulfill the requirements for our alumni group. It is Alro Steel Corporation on Old Shepherdsville Road, Louisville, Kentucky. The product is called polycarbonate zinc. It is used on the windshields and windows of very expensive race cars. The product met all the 9 qualities we desired. First, it could be cut 1/8 of an inch thick to go into the wood frame. This would work. Second, it was scratch-proof. Third, it was shatter-proof. Fourth, it has little, if any, reflective qualities to distract from the display. Fifth, it was UV protectorate. Light will not fade it. Sixth, it's a lightweight material. Seventh, quite pricey but affordable. Eighth, and last of all, it was strong and we could acquire it locally and have it cut to our exact measurements by their laser machine. The cover will protect the original product behind it from vandalism if that might occur, but hopefully it will not. Last of all, on the back of the 3 or 4 inch frame is an aluminum mounting bracket. It goes completely across the top of the frame, made of heavy duty construction. Enclosed in the plastic on the back of it is the second part that goes on the wall. The bracket on the sign slides easily onto the wall mounting bracket, locks into place. It will be easy to take off and on the wall for maintenance purposes, cleaning, or painting. I hope our class's legacy to the school system will have lasting effects on all individuals who take the time to look at it and admire the Dragon Crest shield and read the accompanying icon sign displayed there and understand the meanings behind them. We was going to present the second sign today, but our professionals were off on their measurements, so we'll present it at the next meeting or in the future. I hope the school will display both signs in a heavily trafficked area. Last of all, our class worked hard on these 2 signs. Our class project, both financially and passionately, to make Silver Creek Dedication Day a special day for all. We hope to make the world a better place where all students can achieve their full potential and follow their dreams. I have only one thing to leave with this dedicated, hardworking group of our alumni. Let the dragon spirit live on for years to come.
I would like to thank the class of 1965 for putting this together for us. I definitely think when the new high school comes together, we will definitely reach out to you guys, maybe for a ceremony to have it unveiled out there once we find a location for it. So I truly appreciate it. I don't know if I can talk any about more detail on what you went in through. That's amazing. So thank you so much. That's very
The
thankful.
second sign is the same size of that. We did it so you could hang them together if you wanted to.
Yeah, I saw
but
that
that's
in the
up to
rendering.
your
It's nice.
discretion. This project was $3,100.
That's very, very thankful.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so moving over to curriculum and student services. Thank you.
All right, so that's hard to follow. Thank you to the Academy of Finance students for your presentation tonight. You guys did a very nice job, and thank you also to the Silver Creek alumni for your presentation tonight as well. So I'm going to talk curriculum. Tonight I want to spotlight also the education professionals opportunity that's offered at Silver Creek High School. This fall, we wrote a letter of support for a grant that IUS was working on connected to attracting, preparing, and retaining teachers. And IUS was awarded this grant, and they are working with us on this pathway. The grant will be used for field trips such as Ms. Glacier highlighted already tonight. In addition to those field trips, members of the IUS School of Education will be working with our students in that pathway 1 day per semester, where they're going to be covering things suggested by their teachers, such as IEPs, lesson plans, instructional techniques, etc., things that are important to our teachers to know. So more information about the program will be shared as we move forward and it continues to develop. But we're very excited and hope that this partnership will ultimately produce future Silver Creek educators. I also want to spotlight Miss Abby Kaufman. Abby is Silver Creek's high ability coordinator. And she is going to be presenting at the National Association of Gifted Children's Conference on November 18th and 19th in Indianapolis. She will be presenting about her work on identifying high ability English language learners and the ways that they are supported. This is her work. So Ms. Kaufman will be implementing these strategies at Silver Creek after we complete our testing this year. So just want to highlight one of our own that is presenting at that national conference. Some other highlights to share tonight. We held parent-teacher conferences in October for primary and elementary schools. We had a great turnout, and the teachers did a nice job reviewing the student progress with parents. We had Title I parent nights at Silver Creek Primary and Silver Creek Elementary during the first week of November. Both buildings had great parent, student, and staff participation, and we greatly just want to give a shout out to our staff who spend lots of time preparing learning activities for our families to complete together that evening. And then Venture Field Trip. Here recently, Silver Creek High School Venture students and several staff members spent time in New York City. Venture is an incredible program for our high ability students, and this trip was another great learning opportunity. So special thanks to Mr. Horton, Ms. Compton, and all of the staff members who helped make this experience happen for our students. We have some assessments that'll be coming up here soon. These are our middle of year assessments. Starting with Dibbles and TRC in grades K through 2, English Language Arts, that'll open on 11/21. M-Class for grades K through 2 for math will open on January 5th. NWEA for grades 3 through 10 will open on January 9th. And WIDA for our EL learners will also open on January 9th. And then just want to end tonight with advertising that Miss Drain will be reaching out to parents soon. She's our Director of Health Services. She's going to be scheduling an on-site vaccine clinic for students that still need to update any of their immunizations. So we're close to being 100% in several of our buildings, but sometimes that 6th grade level and 12th grade level are hard to get just because those are kind of, you're not getting them all the time anymore. So we're offering those on site for folks to be able to catch up. So anybody have any questions?
No, thank you very much.
Great,
Appreciate
thanks.
that.
Dr. Balmer?
All right, yes. Good evening. We'll jump into our monthly financial report and our operations update. So beginning with our monthly financial report for our main two funds, both education and operations, we'll begin with education. In our budget year 2022, we had a beginning balance of $6,466,939.02. Revenue through October is $17,799,293.55. Expenditures through October, $18,870,085.61, with an ending balance in our education fund of $5,228,262.93. Again, just a reminder that 1,300 fund that we settled this year is your main discrepancy between revenue and expenditures. So right now, we're 85.5% spent. Expected percent's about 80.7. And again, as we talked about in January, we are going to file for an additional appropriation with the DLGF to cover both the 1,300 fund and our growth in enrollment. There's additional costs with the uptick we've seen in both our regular students and some special needs. So that is part of the process of filing for that additional appropriation, which we will do in December. We want to nail that number down and make sure we file for the correct amount. And we'll be doing that here in the next few weeks. Moving on to the operation fund, beginning balance for the 2022 budget year, $4,530,176.97. Revenue through October, $5,356,612.03. Expenditures through October, $7,314,103.30, with an ending balance of $2,572,685.70. All right, through October, we're 65.3% spent. Expected spent, it's about 80.7%. And again, just a reminder, there's two main revenues for operations, and those were when property taxes are collected, and that's in June. We have receipted that in. Our next big revenue will come in December when property taxes come in. A few other items for finance. The 2023 budget, we have checked all the boxes. We're simply waiting for the DLGF to return our 1782 report in December, which will outline our budget, and then we'll have 10 days to respond with any revisions, or we'll accept it. And at that point, we'll begin setting our appropriations. Again, as we talked about, SC being very new, we still have limited history, but we will continue to grow and become better at setting the appropriations to match our actual expenditures. And then we're also updating all the IDOE codes for our expenditure lines. The IDOE has brought many new updates. Thousands of those expenditure lines had to be adjusted for payroll in order for reporting purposes beginning in January. We're on target to meet that deadline, but a big thanks to Ms. Arnold for all her hard work as she goes line by line adjusting those expenditure codes. I want to give a shout out and a big thanks to Ms. Gina Scott, the building treasurer at Silver Creek Elementary, and Ms. Myers and others. They piloted our online field trip payment system through Infinite Campus, and that's one thing we really wanted to get going this year. This allows parents to pay online for field trips, which many appreciate, I do believe. They don't have to worry about sending the money in with the students and the chance of getting lost. And the other big ticket item with this is that we wanted to remove that from our teachers on collecting money and having to count the money daily and turn in the S8 forms for internal controls. So not only this takes one thing off their plate, and it improves our internal controls, and we also think it's a win for our parents as well for the ease of paying for the field trip and dealing with the permission slip online. Also want to thank our partners, German American Bank. One thing we visit with them throughout the year is our interest rate for checking accounts, and they have made continue to be competitive with our interest rates for our checking account, and the more interest we earn, the more that goes into our funds, and the more money we have to spend also on things we need. So a big thanks to them to continue to stay competitive with those interest rates. On the operations side, technology, we're looking forward to an improvement in our internal network connectivity with the development of our new core infrastructure switches. That's something that Mr. Smith and his team have been working on. That's going in on November 17th, so great job to the technology department. And also they're implementing our new HR and facilities help ticketing system with Incident IQ. That'll be going online around the end of November. This new software is going to improve efficiency and the functionality of multiple departments. It also comes with some workflows that we're looking forward to improve some of our current processes. So great job to our technology department. Moving on to transportation, Ms. Kay Hafer, the biannual 12 years and older bus inspections has went great and everything is passed. Also our drug and alcohol annual audit. Everyone passed with flying colors, so obviously that's a wonderful thing. And again, we continue to keep safety first there with transportation. We also want to give a shout out to our transportation team. As time adjusts, visibility becomes less, especially in the mornings. It becomes dark. Their jobs do get harder, but they do a great job at keeping our students safe each and every day, and we appreciate that. We also want to thank some of our neighbors over there with the new bus lot. The new bus lot is a gravel lot, so it does have its share of challenges, but overall it's going very well. Drivers are adjusting to the new patterns, and we also want to thank our neighbors there on Virginia Street as they've adjusted to the bus lot being over there as well. So thank you for their patience. On food service, share tables are up and running in each cafeteria. This is something that Mr. Sinclair and his team have put in each of our cafeterias. Share tables are designated stations where children may return whole or unopened food or beverage items they choose not to eat. These items are then made available to other children who may want or need something or an additional serving or something else beyond what they got. So it's a wonderful thing to cut down on waste, but also for extra food for students who may need it. And on our human resources side, insurance or with Humana, open enrollment is going to start tomorrow. Meeting times and information are coming will come through email. This is an active enrollment year, which means we'll need a form for every staff that's benefit eligible. American Fidelity with Section 125 and additional plans they offer will also be meeting with every benefit eligible employee later in November. And also a shout out to our HR department for sending the notices to teachers. They're adjusted with the bargaining agreement. Their new rates are going into effect, and Human Resources worked hard to get that information to our teachers so they could see the pay change before it hit payroll for any adjustments that may or may not be needed. So great job, Human Resources. And with facilities, I want to recognize Mr. Poole, who's with us today, and I think we'll have some remarks during the director's time. But we want to just recognize him and congratulate him as our new Director of Facilities for Silver Creek School Corporation. He's hit the ground running, to say the least. He was serving as our maintenance technician and has transitioned very well into this role and is making some necessary changes already and doing a great job with keeping everything moving for our facilities. So thank you, Mr. Poole. And one thing that he's got up and running there today, our high school marquee is turned on. It did pass inspection, so now we'll get everybody trained on how to put some cool designs up. I know Miss Nunn's an expert, so there you go, Dr. Eckert. May want to refer to her, but that is wonderful. That's a great addition for our school corporation. So thank you, Mr. Poole, for all your efforts. As far as construction, just a few updates. The SCS car rider staging area has been a huge success. CSO and Context did a wonderful job of designing that and making some last-second changes. We want to thank Ms. Myers and her team. To say that she communicated and implemented well, her and her team, is an understatement. But that went very well. We're still at the mercy of 31, but ultimately that is keeping all the traffic that used to go around our campus off and allowing for construction to continue over there where the new softball and baseball field. The old football track is a current construction zone, so no one should be on that. They're getting the poles, they're starting to level and prepare the dirt for, again, the new softball and baseball fields that will go over there. As far as where the new football field will go, the retention for water retention to deal with the water runoff is installed, and they continue to work on the area, and all systems are go to ensure that is ready by the start of next football season. And that is all for finance and operations. Any questions?
No, thank you very much. Beth, do we have any community input? Anybody here would like to have community input?
In light of the Alumni Association coming in, I want to thank them for their presentation. I didn't know anything about that, but I do want to let them know that crest is seen on our graduation program each year. And the crest, actually, our students recognized it immediately and said, that's the crest that's on our thank you cards that we send out to all our business partners that help us with job shadowing, internships, interviewing, and all those things. So the crest has not been forgotten. So.
Yeah.
Thank you. Consent agenda?
Yep.
Okay, under number 8, consent agenda, under A, finances, numbers 1 through 3, under letter B, grants, number 1, under letter C, donations, numbers 1 through 41, under letter D, field trips, number 1, under letter E, personnel certified, under leaves and retirements, letter A, under positions, letter A, under classified appointments, letters A through D, under resignations, letter A, and under number 9, other, letter A. That's it for consent agenda.
Hearing the consent agenda, do I have a motion to approve?
I so move.
Ms. Bright makes a motion. Do I have a second? Mr. Basham seconds. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes 4-0.
Discussion.
Yeah, moving over to discussion items, first reading.
Yep. So discussion items, number one, first reading of the following policies. We have 17 policies listed there. Many of them are just updated language, either grammatical corrections or updates from statute changes. There are 3 of them, policy 1213.01, 3213.01, and 4213.01, all titled staff or student staff relations. Those are new policies. We have 3 of those policies because one of them is under administration, one is under professional staff, and one is under support staff. Mandatory curriculum number 2221 has some language changes. Also, there's some course changes for students that are required now to take Indiana studies, ethnic studies, and civics at specific grade levels. Policy 2623.01, test security provisions for statewide assessment, is based on recommendations and requirements from the Indiana Department of Education for our standardized testing protocol. Number 5460, graduation requirements. There's now a mandatory college prep curriculum, and I believe as of a couple years ago, there's a graduation pathways now that students have to check requirements for. I want to say that is this year's current 9th graders, but this year's current seniors have to do that. Okay, gotcha. So the attorneys are catching up on language for the graduation requirements. And then food service program 8500, just some updated language, also some language to match our current practices. And then the last policy 9150, school visitors, again, following updates and statute requirements. So I would ask the board to, tonight is first reading. Like anything else, gladly take questions and comments. We'll bring these policies back at our next meeting in December for approval with any changes that you'd like to see.
Any discussion items?
On the student staff relations, as you know from discussion earlier today, that I feel like some of the boxes that we've checked off, which are optional, I feel like they were a little too broad and constraining and could cause some unnecessary concern and cause teachers to maybe not support students in a way that they actually can. I don't know that we need to go into that in real detail tonight, but I would hope between now and December that we have more discussion on it.
Yeah, absolutely. We can delve deeper into each of those. And again, this is recommended language from the attorneys. And yeah, I think if you take any of these in a vacuum, I think there's always more to the story, so to speak. But yeah, you guys have the option of selecting all of them or any combination of that.
Yep.
All right, moving forward for action items.
Action item number 1, request to approve additional turf upgrades for the baseball and softball fields. These are logos that would be placed in the outfield of both the baseball and softball field.
Do you have a motion to approve?
I have a question on that first, please. Todd, where would the additional funds for the upgrades come from?
This would be outside of the GMP1, so this is why we're bringing it to the board for approval. It'll go outside of GMP1, but we would fund this with 2021 bond money, building project money.
Didn't we already have allocations allotted to that? This is just an additional amount because it's the size of it. Is that correct?
The football field had for the sidelines,
Yep.
but the baseball and the softball field did not
okay.
originally have the logos. This is something that the design team did bring to us later on. Again, that's why I wanted to bring it to the board. It will be outside of the GMP1. I know we've had a lot of discussion. If we're going to do things, let's try to take each step and let's try to do it right. Again, I think this would be a great addition. And it would come out of the bond money that is available, but again, it is a decision that the board needs to weigh in on.
I like the designs. Do I have a motion to approve? Hearing no motion.
Okay, so that one. On to number 2, request to approve additional turf upgrades for the baseball and softball fields. This would be designs for the backstops of both baseball and softball fields.
I'll make that motion.
Chrissy Frankel makes a motion. Do I have a second? I'll second it. All those in favor say aye. Oh. Sorry. Does anybody have a discussion item on that beforehand?
The only thing that I'll say is between the two, in case there's questions, I feel like the discussion for action item 2, we have discussed in prior meetings with the construction. And we felt that the backstops were needed and kind of almost a necessity for what they also provided. I think the additional logos in the outfield turfing is something that we haven't really discussed. It's an additional cost. We're already $10 million over budget. So I think we have to be mindful of those things and discuss those a little bit more in depth. Like I said, this one, number 2, I feel like we've all kind of discussed that and that was presented to us. I think the other one needs further discussion before we would actually see some movement on it. That doesn't mean that the softball and the baseball field are not getting turf. It means that they're simply not getting the logo put into turf right now, which is an additional cost.
Yeah, and I want to make a clarification. These are, and I apologize, but these are both the logo. The first thing we brought to you all, that the action item number 1 was for the logos for the outfield. And this action item number 2 is as shared in the packet. This is a logo for the backstop. This is not the backstop themselves. This is an additional logo for the backstop. So you're voting for an additional logo
But it's
for
the
the backstop.
difference between the original design, which was like the chain link, and then this is like the second one. This one kind of plays into the second one, correct?
No, I think you're thinking about the chain link backstop versus the brick.
We've already
Okay.
voted. We've
Right,
already,
we already voted on
we
that.
already have that.
So this is going to go into the turf, into the backstop.
This would be an
Right.
additional logo for the backstop, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a diagram for you.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I just don't think that we need to do both.
Okay.
Yep.
Right. But that's in the outfield. Yeah,
Okay. All right, so we had a motion by Ms. Franklin, we had a second by myself, and then discussion, do we have a vote? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All nays? Passes 4-0. Moving along.
Okay, action item number 3 is, has 3 parts to it. The request is to take them all at once. Request to approve the following for classified and non-bargain staff. Number 1 is the updated pay scales. Number 2 is the salary and wage increases for staff who qualify. And number 3 is stipends for staff who qualify.
Do we have any discussion items?
make a motion to approve.
Ms. Franklin makes a motion. Do I have a second?
A second.
Mr. Basham seconds. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 4-0.
Action item number 4, request to approve administrator contracts. This would be contracts of all of your administrators, excluding the superintendent, who are currently under administrator contracts.
Do you have any discussions?
Make the motion to approve.
Okay, Ms. Franklin makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Basham seconds. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? 4-0.
And action item number 5, request to approve the 2023 group health plan with Humana. This same item was at the previous board meeting that was approved. However, the board was given inaccurate numbers. And so the board has now been given the correct numbers in terms of the health plan premiums for 2023.
Anybody have discussions? Do I have a motion to approve?
I so move.
Ms. Bright makes a motion. Do I have a second?
A second.
Mr. Basham makes a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Passes 4-0.
Okay, comments, reports, and announcements. Building administrators, Mrs. Campbell.
Good evening. I'm Abby Campbell, principal at Silver Creek Primary. Several things to update the board on this evening. October and November have been really busy months at SCP. First, I want to highlight our Hubers field trip. We took all kindergartners and all first graders to Hubers for the day. We also took 175 chaperones for first grade and 185 chaperones for kindergarten. Hubers was closed down for Silver Creek Primary, so it was not a stress-free day, but it was fabulous for our students, and so it was worth it. And they just had a really great time. It was very cold and very wet, but the kids didn't seem to notice. The chaperones, however, did notice, but we had a great time. I want to give a huge shout out, excuse me, to our SCP PTO. Our fall walkathon event raised $31,900, which was incredible. It's our kindergarten and first grade students that participate. So thank you to all of our families and students for working hard to earn that money. That goes back directly to our students and to our staff. In November, as Mrs. Hawkins highlighted, we did our family literacy night. Maggie Upke, our SCP instructional coach, did a fantastic job. We featured what we call make and take activities. So there were a total of 12 stations that evening, and at each station, families came with their student, their school-age student, and they sat down and they went through the process of making the items, everything from sight word cards to bingo boards to reading sticks, all literacy or math based, but mostly literacy. And we were able to get pizza boxes that they put all of the make and take activities home. So our families left with a pizza box full of materials to use to support their learners at home. So we had a great evening, lots of positive feedback. So a huge thank you to Maggie and our staff for making that possible. Our Santa's Helpers program is in full swing. Lacey Niehaus is our social worker at Silver Creek Primary. She is currently working through wish lists, matching sponsors to those wish lists. We have received many generous donations from our SCP community, and we continue to have those rolling in. So we are very grateful for everyone's participation, and a huge thank you to Lacey for taking that on. Also in the month of December, our first grade students are going to Derby Dinner Playhouse. As adults, we don't get as excited about Derby Dinner Playhouse, but our first graders love this field trip. They think it's really neat. They get dressed up. We talk about manners and what that's like to go and have those experiences. And we're excited that we'll be able to have chaperones with us for that field trip as well. So it's exciting. And while Mrs. Glazier is here this evening, I just want to comment on our cadet teaching program. Our cadet teachers from Silver Creek High School have been coming to the primary for several years. They fit in seamlessly. They work hard. They're always willing to answer questions. They're on time. They're ready to go. It's just a really proud moment to see them in our classroom with our youngest friends. And sometimes their eyes are this big when they leave, but they keep coming back. So that's a good sign. So thank you, Mrs. Glazier, for your hard work on that. Any questions for me?
No. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Really appreciate
Thank you.
Mr. Cyphers.
Good evening. Silver Creek Elementary School would like to honor students that recently received our Initiative Award for showing initiative in the classroom. These students include Donovan Martin, Mia Poindexter, Sophia Cook, Maddox Jones, Mila Donahoe, Logan Dowling, Landon Dowling, Hattie Whitaker, Julie Brown, Graham Osley, Weston Robeloff, Aniston McIntosh, Lucia Marrero, Beckett Love, Ava Apoyan, Gracie Smith, Whitney Grover, Colin McLendon, Julianne Leland, Andreas Young, Maddie Murray, Jaden Shuck, Claire Crum, Rachel Billings, Alba Coburn, Caden Lewis, Zoe Kennedy, Kinsley Jones, Micah Johnson, Caden Arnaya, Declan Gilreth, Fadi Aljanabi, Ella Grace Taylor, Lillian Taylor, Jake Hawkins, and Marley Jefferson. Very nice work, friends. We'd also like to give a shout out to all the people that helped with our family literacy night. We had that just a bit ago. Mrs. Hawkins spoke about that. Families were able to choose from breakout sessions about reading, math, or STEM. We had a great turnout. It was nice to have people back into the buildings. And we'd just like to shout out to the teachers and staff that helped make that possible, especially Maria Jenkins, Regina Hildebrand Moore, Shelby Aerocavage from Dragon Pals, Jessica Hartman, Dama Walker, Paige Kleehammer, Heather Smith, Bailey Gary, Tanya Mabe, Jenna Kimmer, and our student council friends who helped host the evening: Maya Ford, Elizabeth Estes, Scout Walters, Amelia Colburn, Ellie Lawrence, Braylee Schaefer, Kate Bobe, Sabrina Boyven, Luna Stiller, Aubrey Sparrow, and Addison Lindsay. Thank you very much to everybody that helped with that evening. Do you have any questions?
No, I just want to tell you thank you again for all your help with the Silver Creek Car Wash, as we're calling it over there. I know it's a lot, and we truly appreciate everything you guys do over there.
Absolutely. It's worked out nicely. We've increased our time, and it's working well. So we're happy about it.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mrs. Dunn?
All right. Good evening. I too want to say how thankful we are for our cadet teachers. They are wonderful in our building. Sometimes I mix them up with our actual students, but they are professional in all that they do, and we appreciate them. I would like to start off by saying congratulations to our cheer team. They are the state champions again this year. They took first place in junior high timeout and first place in junior high large division. And if you go past the middle school, their picture is on our sign outside. So stop by and take a look at that. And Mr. Ballmer cannot take credit for that. That is truly Mr. Troutman. He has taken over that board. So talk to him if you need anything. He's wonderful. We also had a Spell Bowl teams competing. Our sixth grade just placed second Monday in a competition that was held. I also want to take a moment to thank Mrs. Caldwell, who planned our Veterans Day program. I don't know if anybody was able to see any of the pictures. Mr. Smith also shared some online. It was truly amazing to be able to be a part of that. Ms. Caldwell was the overall planner. Ms. Shiley created the slideshow that was presented that showed all the veterans that sent in their picture and information that was shown throughout the program. Mrs. Jockum, Mr. Smith, Ms. Roy all had parts to prepare our students for the day or run the slideshow as the presentations were going on. Our students and staff and honored guests, we allowed veterans to come in, heard the arrangements from our middle school choir, our high school choir, middle and high school band, and our handbell choir. I would also like to thank our guest speaker, Mr. Harold Caldwell, for telling us about his dedication and service to our country. The students and guests were all so moved by Mr. Caldwell's reflections on his time as a service member and his experiences as a veteran. We're so thankful that Mr. Caldwell gave us his time for his country and also his time to share with us his story. Again, thank you to all of the staff and students who participated and got to be a part of the program. They were great ambassadors to our school, or for our school. I would also like to thank Mrs. Wilson, our student council representative. This was the first year in a while we've been able to have a student council. Our student council recently created Spirit Wear Days for our school. Today was Orange and Blue and White Day, depending on your grade. They also helped us organize donations for food pantries, and the totals aren't in yet, but we collected well over 2,000 food donations for our pantry and for Thanksgiving meals. Today, our student council also helped with a pep rally to help us celebrate the official beginning of Hoosiers basketball craziness in our season. Our students were able to experience some fun and games while recognizing our student athletes.
And I'd also like to give a shout out to all of our staff who participated in our knockout game. They all were standing at the end of the game, and hopefully they won't be too sore tomorrow when they come to work. Lastly, I would like to recognize Mrs. Gerlach. She is our organizer for our Santa's Helpers program. Every year, she always finds creative ways to cover all of the students and families to make sure that their holiday season is brighter. And we just can't thank her enough for all the hard work she has done over the years. Does anybody have any questions for Silver Creek Middle School?
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Dr. Eckert?
Good evening. All right. Well, I'm so glad, Miss Glacier, that you stuck around. And Macy and Marshall and Kiki, I want to tell you that your teacher, Miss Glacier, is up for an award Thursday night. Are you all aware of that? Okay. You guys got tickets and going? You all? Okay. Okay. You stuffed the ballot box, huh? That's fine. I voted a couple times myself, but Miss Glazer is up for I think it's sponsored by One Southern Indiana for Professional of the Year, and I'm not sure if she's going to win it or not, but we're very proud that she's representing us, and she certainly deserves to win. I know that. I'm sure you all feel the same way. So very proud of her. And Miss Nunn stole my word, ambassador, but ambassador. But Miss Glazer's a great ambassador for our school, and I want to thank you all for coming to present tonight. You did an outstanding job, and it makes me so proud to see our students have poise, much more poise than I have sometimes, and able to explain what they're doing. So that was a great addition to the meeting. So you guys did a great job. Proud of you as well. A date maybe to put on your calendar, January 25th. We've been talking a lot about the Silver Creek Career Academy program. We're going to have a showcase for our 8th grade parents and students on January 25th. Have we nailed down the time for that yet? I'm not sure if we've decided on the exact time, but I will get that out to everyone. But all our different academy areas will be setting up, and usually we have the students come and present. Marshall talked about that a bit as far as recruiting goes, and we did it last year and it went very well, but we just needed a little bit more room, so we're going to do it at our school in the gymnasium on January 25th. So we're looking forward to that, and we're planning that right now. We're in the middle of Spirit Week as well. We've been doing different themes. Tomorrow is Dress Like Adam Sandler Day, so I want to invite all the central office administrators and school board members to dress like Adam Sandler and maybe visit us during the day, maybe get a picture or something. But I'm looking for my long shorts and my goofy hockey shirts or something. You didn't hear? Okay. I'll send you an email, which you probably won't read, but I'll send it to you. Our theater production class, one thing that they've been doing here recently is they're working on their plays, and they entered the Young Playwrights in Process competition. And Aiden Garrison, who's a senior at Silver Creek High School, his play, which is called Growing Up, was selected to advance to the next round. So I'd like to congratulate Aiden. We were able to see the script of the play as it was shared by Mr. Sheffield. So thanks to Mr. Sheffield for working with our kids on that, and for Aiden for advancing. Next, our cheerleaders competed in the state finals at Newcastle High School October 23rd. They received runner-up in the Class B division for their full routine. I was able to go, and they did a remarkable job. I'm not sure how they didn't win, but the other team won. But Jen Kaufman, Morgan Black, and Amanda Granger are our coaches, and they've been doing it for a while, and they just do a wonderful job with our cheerleaders. Next, I'd like to share Mid-Southern Conference Awards for our various fall teams. In tennis, the boys team was Mid-Southern Conference champs this year. Coach Albrand received Coach of the Year. Camden Smith and Riley Clift made the all-conference team. And Chase Richardson and Evan Chevalier were honorable mention. Boys soccer, they were also Mid-Southern Conference champs. Tim Quakenbush, our coach, was also named Coach of the Year. We had 4 students that made all conference. Boaz Dodarushki. You guys know how to say his name? Bo. Okay, Bo made the all-conference team. I guess I should have practiced that. I can say the next name, Owen Eckert. He was all-conference. Elmer Johansson and Luke Wilson were also all-conference team members. Honorable mention was Edwin Mendez and Aiden Flores. So again, they were Mid-Southern Conference champs. Volleyball were also Mid-Southern Conference champs, and Jeff Zimmerman was named Coach of the Year. Making the all-conference team was Addison Macon and Ellie Pretty, and honorable mention was Kiki Brown, who's sitting right over there. So proud of her. Football team, some guy named Hawkins from Charlestown won the Coach of the Year. Silver Creek honorees for the all-conference team was Brett Wilson, Eli Newman, Charles Berkeley, and Donovan Mosley. So we had 4 people on the all-conference team, and Darius Gray and Caden Oliver received honorable mention. In girls soccer, they were also Mid-Southern Conference champs. They were also sectional champs. Coach O'Laughlin was Coach of the Year from Silver Creek. We had 4 girls make the all-conference team: Olivia Johnston, Emma Wilcoxon, Carly Troutman, and Sydney Ledden. And we had 2 make the honorable mention team and that was Carson Sidebottom and Michaela Doherty. That's all I have. Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, on to directors. Mr. Poole, microphone's yours.
Hi, I'm Kyle Poole, Director of Facilities, former maintenance technician of Silver Creek School Corporation. I'll leave a few remarks tonight. First off, I'd like to recognize and thank my site managers through this transition. They've done a great job of stepping up and adding to, the custodial staff that we currently do not have in order to take up for the cleaning of sites, schools, specifically in our elementary and primary. Secondly, I would like to express how excited we are for Incident IQ to roll out at the end of November. We see a lot of benefits and reports, being able to go through analysis and see where our big issues are in schools, fixing those, privy to them becoming big issues. So that's all I have for tonight. Do you have any questions for me?
Welcome aboard.
Yeah, thanks so much and congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Kyle. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll just make a few comments here to allow everyone else to mention some things as well. First of all, thank you to the many donations that we received tonight, not only on the agenda, but also through the fundraisers that were mentioned. I'm always amazed and impressed by and pleased by the level of donations from our community and our parents and our employees. Students, thank you tonight. You guys did a great job. Your field trip was approved, in case you didn't notice that. So have a fun, safe trip there. And also on that note, I attended the Career Academy board meeting last week for the first time, and it was very impressive. Mrs. Glazier was there, Dr. Eckert was there, and it was just interesting to hear just exactly what all is going on with our career academies. And so if they'll have me, I'll gladly be a part of that moving forward in any way I can. And then congratulations to all of our student athletes and their athletic recognition this year. And then finally, thanks to the class of 1965 for their donation tonight. And to the board, they will be back at the next board meeting to present the next gift. And I will ask the board at that time to accept that as a donation so that we can proudly display that once our renovations are complete. That's all I have. Mrs. Hawkins? Okay, Dr. Bomber?
Yeah, again, just a shout out to Miss Glazer, more than deserving for the award, and you got a lot of people behind you. But there were so many success stories that come out of that academy, and students, just job well done tonight. Do want to give a shout out. Miss Caldwell has led many Veterans Day programs. I've been involved in quite a few of those, and again, her planning and implementing that program, it's just a very special, and it's great to see Silver Creek recognize the veterans and take pride in what they've done for us. I want to thank the board for approving the raises and just want to let the staff know for classified and non-bargaining that we will be communicating tomorrow, either via email or some other forms, but letting everybody know how this impacts them. But again, I think I can speak for all of us that we truly value our employees, and we always want to value them the best we can within the budget. So thank you for the board for working with us to implement and approve the raises.
Mr. Basham.
I've had several people ask me what's going on our building project, and I've just tried to explain to people the actions we took on changing our oversight on our projects. We feel like it's going to save us some money where we can get closer to what we need. We ain't going to get it all, but I think with Sharman coming on board, it's really going to help the project out.
Ms. Redmond?
Yeah, so just to kind of piggyback off that, always read your board packet. I must overlook this a little bit. But so just to clarify on that turf thing, we approved for the turf to have the logo or to have the letters of dragons behind each field. Both fields are getting turf. This was a question of whether or not they should have the logo and the lettering. Not doing the logos in the outfield, which was an additional almost $70,000, I think, is something right now that we can just kind of still have the aesthetics of improved fields with turf, but we have the balance up front where people are actually going to be kind of visible and see them. And so I think their fields are going to look great. That's moving along. So I'm happy to see that. I'm just really proud of Ms. Glazer. I've worked with you on a couple things, just kind of through the foundation and just getting to know what you do. Professional of the year, you're just a professional of the decade. I don't know how many years you've taught here. I think it's been close to 30 plus. But, you know, you are a committed educator. You come in and do your job and have for a number of years. And what we see out of that is just what you mentioned tonight, which is the people in the community that have graduated from our schools making a difference. And so you are one of the best. And so I wish you luck in your ceremony or awards presentation tomorrow, and you have my vote. So thank you for that. And as far as our other building leaders, our kids are out traveling, they're out learning, they're on trips, they're pep rallying, they're competing, and they're just very successful. And that falls right back into all the people that are in our buildings. And so you deserve those raises. Thank you for all that you for all that you continue to do. And we are behind you guys 100%. So thank you.
That's right.
Yes, I'd just like to also extend onto that, Ms. Glazer. Thank you for all that you do, and it's very much appreciated, and it's really seen in our students and how they grow, and the professionalism that we saw from them tonight. You all spoke very well, and we appreciate you staying through the whole board meeting, even though it's not always really exciting. And to our administrators, thank you so much for your detailed reports that you give us. We love hearing about the great things that are going on in our Silver Creek schools. We're very excited for those who are going to get to attend the High Ability Conference and for having one of our own be one of the presenters, Ms. Kaufman. And to our director, a new director, thank you for coming to speak tonight and introducing yourself. And I think that's all.
Cool. Well, I can just piggyback off everybody here so that everybody can start. Congrats to the high school coaches, athletes, staff, MSC awards. The finance kids here tonight. One advice as a salesperson is ABC is always be closing. I just recommend you guys asking one of us to buy those. So afterwards, I'll buy one of these before you leave. That's just a sales guy in me, so I apologize. Thankful for all the donations from the PTO, the finance. That's awesome. You guys raising that much money. It's amazing. Kudos. Keep going out there and keep doing it. And just keep striving for the best. And you do a great job doing that. Ms. Glazer, I appreciate you mentioning Diego Morales. I actually went to college with him. A great friend of mine. I was able to speak with him after he was got there and won. I was super happy for him. I also got to speak with Scotty Maples. So again, that just kind of foresees that we grow from within, and thankful to you that they had that leadership there, and I appreciate that. But congratulations, Diego and Scotty. As a cheer dad, I also want to send a shout out to Silver Creek Middle School, 2-time back-to-back state champions for a timeout routine and the competitive cheer. I couldn't be there, unfortunately. I was down in Nashville, but my daughter knew I was there watching her, so I appreciate that. Congratulate the high school, the Spell Bowl, the Silver Creek Elementary. The last night they won first place, and they had 28 out of 30 correct words. I mean, just phenomenal. So they did a great job for them. Thanks to the veterans for coming out, and thanks to our administrators for allowing them to come out here. And thank you for all those that serve for us from Silver Creek. And Ms. Glazer, I wish you the best of luck tomorrow. Whew. Yeah, that's how I roll. Next meeting dates, December 13th, 2022, regular board meeting at Silver Creek Primary School, the PDAC, right back here at 6:30. January 10th, 2023, regular regularization board meeting for the Silver Creek Primary School here at the PDAC at 6:30. May I have an adjournment motion?
I so move.
Ms. Bright, as normal. I don't think I've only beat you once on that one. And a second.
I'll say.
Mr. Basham, I couldn't second that one. So all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, passes 4-0. Thank you all. Have a great night.